Well, hey folks, pt.5 here, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me today in Farm Sim 25, and we're here on the Farmlands map. Now, that's what I was afraid of. As you can see, I'm still mowing this field. It's a lot of field to mow. But, there we go, we have to stop momentarily. Alright. Hope everybody's doing well. It is the 27th day of November 2025 as I record this. And our hired worker is out of solid fertilizer. Needs lime and needs rolling. That's exactly the order we're going to do it in. Now normally I like to lime before I put seed down, but well, I could make up a bunch of excuses, but I forgot. That's what it boils down to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also thinking that, if I move this thing, I'm not going to be able to get the hired worker to finish this. So let's actually try something else first. Because I'm pretty sure I've got a container of seeds here that we can just take, or fertilizer I should say, that we should be able to just take out there. That's seeds. Okay, there's not much left in here. So let's just grab this. Yeah, it's just about empty, unfortunately. But we'll start with this. Let's see how far that gets us. That's what I like to see. Lets us know it's going to take it. Okay. And let's rehire. And hope they do their thing. Yeah, this has turned out to be a fairly big job. That's alright. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Just about unhitched it. Good thing the game's a little bit smarter and said, no, you can't do that. What do you think you're doing? Yeah, it's, well, we're past the halfway mark, so I suppose that's good news. But it is a job. Wow. It is a job indeed. Down to half a row when we get to the end. I've actually been using the compass and trying not to get more than 0.1 either direction while we're waddling down the thing, so these should be a little better than they are. That's alright. We'll get it done. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that Cedar, that wasn't a whole lot of fertilizer we just chucked on there. So, the seeds are holding out well, I must say. It's only 80% left of that. Yeah, we burned through the fertilizer, and I imagine we're going to burn through this as well. And for some reason, I know he's working over there, but for some... See again. We're really healing off at an angle here. He left a strip on this side. I don't know why. Not making sense, but oh well. Guess we shouldn't be that surprised that we have a little bit of cleanup to do when the AI is done. Now, as for lime, yeah, we don't have a lot of money, but I think we can afford to buy the lime for the field. I'm hoping what we can do here is when we can free up a tractor for more than about 30 seconds that we can waddle around and gather up our apples, maybe even raspberries, I don't know. Uh-oh. Okay, he thinks he's done, which means he's not gonna do, or she, I didn't actually look, I apologize, not gonna do that missed row. So obviously, we will. So let's get this guy lined up for yet another row. This isn't a field, so I can't assign anybody or do anything like that. Alright, let's jump to this fella. And the missing bit is other side, so let's head over there. There we go, right here. Not sure why they thought this wasn't worthy of their time, but, well, I happen to think it is, very much so. So, let's pop that down. And it is wheel driven, so... this bit done. Must have been between a save game or something that this got left this way. Because he has been at this field for a couple of episodes now. But when I logged in today, it was on the other side of the field, and all I did was hopped in, hit H, and let him go. And he continued on from where he was. Alright, that should be now fully done. So, yeah, we definitely got some apples, eh? Check it out. Looks like we got like a dozen boxes waiting for us. Very nice. Okay, I hate to say it, but you're not exactly in a convenient spot. How about we just pop you over here? And a little bit of seed. Oh, that. And we'll grab this one. Go. That's better. My fault for just leaving things laying wherever I decided to spit them out of the trailer. Okay. I know it's a pretty tight squeeze. There we go. Whew. Should have stopped and given it a bit of a wash, I think. It's okay. That's the nice thing about having a portable unit. We can just wheel it on over there. Oh, I guess it was supposed to go in there, actually. Yes, please. There's not much in it, but we'll take what we can get at this point. All right. Nope. So. Well, good news, we do have a windrower. Even gooder news, we do have a lime spreader. I'm sure it's, yeah, empty. So... Now, it was mentioned by City Farmer, big shout out to a super awesome friend of the channel, that pallet thing that I was trying to get some seed and fertilizer out of probably would have only unloaded to a seeder or planter, as the case may be, and I'm sure that's exactly the issue. The thing of it is that's not what I want. I wanted something, and I have the mod. I don't know if I even put it in. I just kind of started this morning. But no, it'll actually give you a pallet of like that. Those seed bags we moved on that pallet, it gives you those, right? So yeah, there's a difference there between just being able to load the seeder and being able to actually grab the pallet. And that's exactly why I wanted the other one, so that I don't have to haul the tractor and seeder back in off the field. I can just grab a pallet of whichever it is we need and take it to the tractor. Alright, I think that's lime over there. Hopefully. Possibly. Well, it's something. That's window wiper thing is in just the absolute worst place. I think we're under it. No. Oh, is that all you've got? Okay. So that's not what we want. Let's try this one. Am I not under it yet? Possibly not. Why am I not getting a trigger on this one? Oh, do I need to open this thing? Now can I have a trigger? I can. Alright, well, we know from practical experience this is going to eat most of our money. Like, literally, most of our money. Yeah. Pooh. Yeah. Took 7,000, left us with 5. So I think that pretty much covers. Let's cover that over, because if so much as a gram of it blows away, we're in the hole. Yeah. We're definitely going to have to think about selling something. I say apples would be my first guess. All right, let's get this lime to the field. And then hope like heck it doesn't actually use very much of it. Because I'd like what we just paid for to do, you know, a field or two. Alright, let's see what the lines come out as. Because I'm definitely going to use lines. I don't want to waste anything here. So, let's have a look. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's not going to be much. Okay. Alright, here we go. Anything to unfold on that? Nope. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this isn't going to go well. There's 10%. There's 20%. Mm-hmm. So, pretty much 30% to do a row. Yikes. Oh. Okay, well, we're going to do that one last. Yeah, and you can see why. I'm pretty sure it's a slightly narrower, so we might be able to get away with a little bit less. Meanwhile, as we rush towards the halfway mark, yikes. Yeah, lime is crazy expensive in this game. I don't know, man. Considering. I mean, yeah, it is, you know, a resource that gets used up. Like, I mean, in so much as it's not just, you know, something that keeps being... Oh, crap. Really? I hadn't expected that. At all. Oh, for... I don't know what the obsession with trees on these freaking maps is. Wow, that line's a long ways off. Okay, this is a full one. It's the one there's a line down the middle that isn't. Alright. Oh, yeah, we're going to have nothing left. This is going to use all $7,000 worth of lime. Dang. Yeah, I tell you, price of apples better be pretty dang good. Alright, now let's steering assist. Work with Control Z. 18 meters, 15 meters. What do you think? Is that an 18 or a 15? I think it's a 15. Of course, it's got to be right in line with a tree. Ooh, that's barely doing it, eh? Yep, we're going to pretty much use up our entire $7,000 worth. That's crazy. 8%, if we even get to the end here, that is. Looks like we might just. 7, 6, 5. Oh, maybe a little premature on the old 5, but... okay. That's what we got left. Yeah, I hate these trees. You know, the very first map, Haagen-Dazs. No, it's not what it was called. That's ice cream. I can't remember the name, but you know what I mean. The very first one. Yeah. Everybody hated the fact, like it was great, except there was a tree like that, like right here. And yeah, before Giant's Editor was released, people tried everything to get rid of that bloody tree because it was the most annoying thing. There we go. Get that last bit, why not? It's not like we can save what we have for another field. Man. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, pretty crazy. Alright, let's get the roller out there. We can pop the AI on it and get back to our lawnmower. There we go. This thing takes forever to unfold. Alright. Let's pick our fights here. Yeah, you're gonna start with the head one. Okie dokie. You're off. Come on, I started you pretty much perfect. Yeah, you're just showing off. You're just showing off. How come this is 10 feet forward to where I actually parked it? Huh. Now you don't know. But away we go. Alright, let's get rid of that stuff. We'll have to remember to reopen that lime spreader when it comes time to use it again. Although I guarantee you I'm going to end up starting out down the field spraying a little tiny 15-meter patch instead of the 40 that it does. I can see it now. I just know it. Well, he seems to be getting on with it. This is good. As I said, I'm also hoping that we can possibly get some of this silage, well, once it is silage, we can get some of this grass turned into silage and then sell some of that silage, and hopefully it'll fetch a fairly decent dollar. And I remember when you could basically finance your entire farm off of making silage. Like, you could make thick money. You just take the silage to the BGA and drop it off, and boy oh boy, you were treated like a king. Be like, here's your $200,000, Mr. Species. And be like, thank you very much. Let me go fetch another. Yeah, I don't know. I think they kind of ruined the BGAs. I don't even use them anymore. They're just not worth the effort. You know? They used to be really good money makers. But I know that places like the animal dealer are always on the lookout for a wee truckload of silage and hay and that sort of thing to keep their critters going. You know, just like your local SPCA would really appreciate a little bit of donation so that they could get food and blankets and all the things that keep them going. So, yeah. If you're looking to donate some sort of charitable thing this Christmas, feeling in the need, well, you know, they may not understand what Christmas is, but for a lot of people, and I'd have to say myself included, their pets are an insanely big part of their lives. And knowing that their brethren will have a better Christmas because somebody's made a nice donation, that helps. And my kitty Dixie will especially thank you. She spent a year and a half at the SPCA before I finally adopted her. Not because she's a bad kitty, just, you know, she came in with a whole clutch of kittens. And of course, everybody loves kittens, so they didn't stay very long. But then she got left and left and left and left and left, and nobody seemed to want her. Now I imagine, seeing as the SPCA worker, when I went in to get Dixie, one of the first things she told me is, well, you gotta realize she's never gonna be an affectionate cat. Because she was truly feral, not stray. She was a true feral. She was born in the wild. So and as she was sort of born out of business, they knew when she'd come into being, and hadn't really bothered about her other than, you know, the usual area that stray cats hang around. And then she had a litter of kittens, and that's when the business, a garage actually, a place called City Motors, which is why she was called City Mama in the SPCA. But yeah, they phoned the SPCA and said, yeah, there's a feral here with a clutch of kittens, and she seems capable of looking after herself, but you know, a clutter of wrecked cars or whatever that her and her kittens are living under isn't the best of deals, so they came down and gathered her up. But yeah, she's a beautiful little tuxedo cat. You know. So yeah, don't know why, but nobody ever wanted her. But yeah, they said right off the bat, she's not going to ever be the kind of cat that's going to come and sit on your lap or, you know, be super affectionate. And I've had her now for over a decade, and well, they were certainly right about that. She has never once made any attempt to climb into my lap or anything that close. I mean, she sleeps right beside me on the bed, stuff like that. It's not that she doesn't like the company. That was just never a part of her growing up. It was to, so no. Probably why she didn't get adopted for a year and a half. Poor thing. But I spent a good couple weeks on their online site, looking through all the kitties and what was available here and over on the island and all of that. When I ran across her and it said she'd been there for 18 months, that was what decided me that she was the kitty for me. Yeah, that's what I told him when I went in there. Yeah, I understand you have a cat that's been here for a year and a half. Well, that's the kitty for me. Dexter, on the other hand, I got from a fly-by-night pop-up pet store, basically. There used to be a pet store in here called Animal World. We're talking decades ago. The original one burnt down. And there was actually talk that it might have been the owner of the place. It was in a strip mall. But yeah, there was kind of a lot of talk at the time that it might have been him that did it, but I really never thought so because I knew the owner and he really cared about his animals, and some were lost when the place burned down, obviously. But literally decades later, his daughter has this little pet shop open in a place, I mean, completely not suitable. It was one of those ones you could tell just from the way it was set up and stuff that, you know, it's the only available space I can find. Let me jam as much of my stuff in here. And I think mainly what it was maybe her dad had given her the rest of the stock from his whole... I mean, he had reopened after that place burned down and ran for years, right? Did business with him all the time. But it looked like that's what it was she was just basically trying to get rid of stock. You know, he probably had it sitting in his basement for, 5 years after he finally closed his store. And he just retired. The dude was getting on. Had enough of running a retail business. It can be a pretty hard go. But as well as a bunch of old stock from Bob's store, she had this clutch of kittens, tabbies, and the usual, your gray couple of gray tabbies, couple of browny gray tabbies, a couple of orange tabbies, one very blondish, almost white tabby, and same thing. When I went in, there was still 4 of them, but 3 of them had been spoken for, and were just waiting to reach age, and then one of them was going to have to wait an extra week because it was for a birthday present, and they didn't want to pick it up until the birthday. Yeah, giving kittens as presents. Stupid people. Anyway, Dexter was the only one that hadn't been claimed. And she told me, well, he just seems to have a little bit of an attitude that he doesn't, you know, where all the other kittens showed their enthusiasm for wanting to get adopted and, you know, would come to the cage and stuff. He'd just sit in the back and glare at you like, you know, who do you think you are? Again, just the cat for me. So yeah, I went in, had a look at him, said, okay, well, I'm going to go home and think about this. You know, I already have one cat that's not terribly affectionate, and I kind of want to get this one because I think having another cat around would make her a little more, you know, lively about things and a little happier in life. So I went down a couple days later and said, yep, I've decided, gimme, gimme, gimme. And Dexter came home. And I think actually the day we got him, she probably treated him better than she has since. Yeah, both of them. I've never seen two cats live under one roof and want so little to do with each other. They are a pair. But anyway, sorry to bore you with the history of my kitties. That guy's still, I guess. Good news is, after literally hours, I'm almost done this. Yeah. I guess we don't have to be too terribly precise with this one, do we? Oops. For some reason, I didn't drop the front one. Yep, 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 yep. There we go. It wasn't quite gonna fit, so rather than have one row that's, you know, 3 feet wide and only gives us 10 liters of grass in a row that we still have to, you know, weed into or windrow into everything else and all the rest of it and pick up off the ground, we might as well at least have it so it makes a row. I suppose, all things considered, there's really no reason to use these back ones at all now. Let's get her onto the front one, drop it down. Oops, not stop it, drop it down. And let's mow this center bit. Oh, lovely. Well, surprisingly little wear and tear on the equipment after that rather enormous mowing job. Certainly used up a little bit of fuel, but that's okay. We have a little bit left. Yeah, unfortunately only a little bit left. Alright. Okay, well that's a good thing. No, 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 no. What are you doing? Don't. Of course, it's going to unfold completely before it folds back up. Oh, for God's sakes, what a mess. I'm just trying to lower them down so I don't have to drop them from 3 feet in the air. But apparently that's not what they want. They want you to just do that. Crane. The little thing rocks around and almost falls over. Some of them you can do that. You can lower them, some of them you can't. I don't know why they have to have sort of those two, as opposed to just you either can or you can't, and then you either would or you wouldn't. No, I'm not lowering you down. You can just drop to the floor. Alright. So... and with that, I think I'm going to call an episode. Now, he's rolling that. Is it just optical illusion here, or is nothing actually happening? Like, shouldn't the lime have been rolled in? I guess not, because this is all good. It's been... shows it's limed. It doesn't say it needs rolled. And... of course, neither does any of this. Oh, wait a minute. No, none of this. Oh, that's because this would be part of the headland still. I think that's the last row. Yep. Awesome. Well, there you go. And with that... alright. I guess it does. Folding this thing up can't be easy. We're going to call the episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, well, you know what to do. Please hit that like button. It does help us a bunch. Until next time, take good care of each other, folks. And ciao for now.